2 Corinthians 5:20 says, "We're ambassadors for Christ. As though God were making an appeal through us, we beg you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God." The mission of the Church Ambassador Network is to inspire the church to engage government for the advancement of God's kingdom. We're ambassadors for Christ, ministering in the arena of government. Our approach to ministry is Christ-centered, grace-driven, nonpartisan, relationally built, partnership-minded, and prayer-focused. We accomplish our mission by connecting the shepherds of God's church, our pastors, to God's shepherds in government. In Bible times, the king, or in today's world, our governing officials. We work to help people serving in government to see themselves as shepherds and to see the church as both a problem solver and a key partner in meeting the needs of our state. While most of our work happens in and around the day-to-day functions of government, we can't ignore the fact that in the United States, we have been blessed with the privilege of participating in the process of selecting those who will serve in key government roles. Each of us has been entrusted with a vote, and it should be our desire to cast that vote in a way that honors God. The Bible is full of principles and parameters that pertain to government, and Exodus chapter 18 gives us insight into how we can approach an election. In this passage, we find Moses receiving instruction from his father-in-law about selecting people to serve in government. Exodus 18:21 says, "Furthermore, you shall select out of all the people able men who fear God, men of truth, those who hate dishonest gain, and you shall place these over them as leaders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens." Here we see 4 key qualities to look for when selecting government officials. First, able men. This implies that the person has a track record, and that we ought to be carefully considering that record when making our choice. It's the same principle that can be found in Luke chapter 16, verse 10, where it says, "The one who is faithful in a very little thing is also faithful in much, and the one who is unrighteous in a very little thing is also unrighteous in much." Next, people who fear God. Proverbs 9:10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom," and it's appropriate for us to look for people to serve who fear God. Next is men of truth, and it seems like it should go without saying, but even at the time of Moses, telling the truth was a character quality to seek out in a governing official. Proverbs 12:22 reminds us, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal faithfully are his delight." Next, those who hate dishonest gain. The final quality in this passage is motivation. Romans 13 tells us that governing officials are ministers for our good. And here in Exodus, we see Jethro urging Moses to select people to help govern who have that shepherd's heart. Similarly, as we approach another election, we have an opportunity, an obligation as believers and as citizens to steward our vote and to honor God by studying the candidates and the issues that will be on our ballots. To the best of our ability, we should carefully and prayerfully seek out candidates that have proven themselves able, who have demonstrated that they fear God, who have built a reputation of integrity, and who approach their service with a shepherd's heart. Next January, the winners of November's election will take office, and like Daniel or like Joseph in the Bible, the Church Ambassador Network will minister as ambassadors for Christ alongside the government. Between now and then, my hope is that as believers, we'll participate as citizens with a consistent awareness of the need to honor God every step of the way, and that together we will choose well in 2024.